there's a bunch of ingredients that get you to the same result, but you could do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and when another person could be more of this one thing and less of this thing, when for you it was the opposite. So then you start realizing, okay, I could do this and I could do a little of this. Actually, I don't want this, and then you start substituting or whatever it is, and then that's when you start building your own routine and what works for you. These type of things can get into your head of, I'm not doing enough, or I should be doing this, or you compare yourself to other people who are doing a bunch of things, and it's like, but it's because they've worked on probably like on little habits, like they're probably been in a journey for a very long time, where like they have so much discipline that they're able to do this. To not judge ourselves when things don't work out, because again, most of us are just starting or are in this journey where like we're one of the first ones in our family or our people who surround us. Like we're the first ones to like be trying to learn and how to be productive and how to not procrastinate and how to improve your lives and how to improve your finances and all of these stuff. And individuality. Are we doing things because we want to do them, or are we following a routine because somebody told us, or all the information out there, the reels, the podcast, everything? They're like, oh, this is what you have to do. Like, for example, the 5 a.m. club, or like going to the gym every single day. Are we doing things because we want to, or because we think that's how it should be done? And I think this is an interesting topic. I'm really excited to talk about this. This is a topic I actually have been thinking about for the past, not thinking about like all the time, but it's definitely something that came up to mind in a conversation I had with somebody about 2 months ago. So I'm really, really excited. Again, I don't have anything really scripted, and it's also really, really hot. I don't know if you could see it in my face, but I'm sweating. I was gonna wear my sweater that I usually wear when I'm making my podcast videos, my podcast episodes, but it is hot. I'm also what's it called? I'm also experimenting with the new mic that I got with the AC on, because one of my projects is to do podcast episodes in person in the car, and because it is summer, I need it to be cold in here, and right now it's pretty hot. Like literally wherever I touch, it's so much sweat. But with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share on YouTube, and if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, to follow there and answer the questions of what did you think about this episode, because it really helps with that. With that being said, let's start with the episode. All right. So individuality. I think we live in a world where sorry, my legs are soaked in sweat. Oh my god, that's wild. Sorry. Um, individuality. I think we live in a world where there's so much information out there, and there's so many ways to where they tell us like this is the right way to do this. You should do this. You should do that. I think for me, it really started like you have to wake up early every single day, like 5 a.m. and there's that dicho where el que madruga Dios ayuda, or something like that. So we have been, and honestly, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just there's certain people like me who just can't wake up in the morning, and I've done it before and I love it, but there's other factors that go with it that I'm not the type of person that could from one day to another, or maybe this is just like mindset stuff as well, I don't know, but from one day to another I can't just wake up early. And for it to be sustainable, if my sleeping schedule is fucked up, if I'm not eating right, if I'm not drinking a lot of water, because then that all of that goes into the levels of energy that you have. So I think it's very interesting, and especially when you get into this whole personal development journey, you start listening to a bunch of different people, and some of them like say similar stuff, but because we're in this thing of like we want to be better people, we just follow what people are saying, but then it leads, for some people, maybe not everybody, this is just my experience, like from my experience, like we tend to like follow these routines or try to follow these routines, and then when we're not getting that result, or when we're not getting, or we like do it one day and then it's hard to do it the next, and then we try to do it again, but then like there's that inconsistency, then that and if you haven't worked on your limiting beliefs, then you go into, oh, I'm not good enough, this is not for me, it's my fault, like I'm so stupid, like really harsh stuff that and you start creating or building this thing of of what's it called, reinforcement on the beliefs that you already have about yourself, which for most of us tends to not be that great. So I think for me that was one thing. It really, because I wasn't able to wake up 5 a.m. in the morning every single day, and when I did, and then I had a relapse, it didn't allow me for it to be sustainable, because I still hadn't worked on my sleep schedule. I still hadn't worked on my eating, how what I ate. So it really influenced a lot, especially because I was also exercising. That also led me to, you really need to work on your sleep schedule. You really need to eat. But because I wasn't doing it properly, or I wasn't doing it, it didn't allow me to keep waking up at 5 in the morning, because I just didn't have energy to actually do it. So yeah, that was like my experiences. I think with with the conversation I had, um, I think so with a friend, we were talking about this, and he was talking about it because he was struggling with, like, you have to do this. I think believe he got into like real estate, and it's like everybody's getting into real estate now, and then it's like, is this really what you really want? Like, you get into it, you like pay the courses, and then they tell you you're gonna make, if you do like what we tell you, you're gonna be able to do it. But then there's so many factors that go into the ability, like the age, the money, finances, especially like those, and then connections. And yes, I understand that we have to, like, it's gonna take work and stick, but as us who are first generations, or as us who don't have the mentors, or the people surrounding us don't know these things, it's way harder compared to somebody who already has connections, who already grew up with these type of mindsets. Like, it's such an interesting thing. Like, we think, oh, we just follow it. Like, no, there's so many things. And then there's self-sabotage, there's limiting beliefs that keep us in, like, makes us resistance into doing these things. So, because when we had this conversation, it was more of like, oh, from what I remember, it was, I did this because, that's what they told me to do, in the sense, like, personal development, like, oh, if you want to make money, go get into real estate. And then you think, like, oh yeah, like, it makes sense, I like it, I'm gonna make money, it doesn't seem that hard. But then, like, the actual doing, the actual implementation, it does take work. And that's another thing, there's a lot of skills that go into all of this, into whatever you go into, like, whatever type of business, social media, content creation, podcast. There's so many skills that we need to learn within that we think by implementing these things, our life is going to change, like, in 6 months. But it's not. It's those goals, like, certain habits maybe that you want to implement. Then from there you start building up, and then that's when you start, like, making those yo, it is so hot. If you're watching on this on YouTube, you could see, like, the layer of sweat that I have in my arms. That's just wild. Why is this AC not working? Yo. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna keep this short because I'm sweating a lot. But I think we really do need to think about, like, am I doing this because I enjoy doing this? Like, am I getting into real estate, or am I getting into content creation, or am I getting into a podcast, or am I getting into this selling bracelets, or whatever it is, because I want to, or because because I saw a 20-minute video that told me, like, oh, if you do this, you're gonna make money, or if you do this, you're gonna change your life. And I think I mentioned this with somebody else as well, but, like, it's not bad to follow the routines of others, or to see, because it's not bad to follow the routines of others for a short period of time, because then you start realizing, oh, I actually like this, or oh, I don't like this, or this didn't work for me. So then you start experimenting, and then with all these ingredients, that because there's a bunch of ingredients that get you to the same result, but you could do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and when another person could be more of this one thing and less of this thing, when for you it was the opposite. So then you start realizing, okay, I could do this, and I could do a little of this, actually I don't want this. And then you start substituting, or whatever it is, and then that's when you start building your own routine and what works for you. So maybe for some of us, it could be waking up at 7 in the morning every day, and then it's just meditation, and then you start working. And then for others, maybe wake up, exercise, and then start work. Or maybe a bit longer: exercise, meditation, prayer, and then, like, whatever works for you. Like, for me, before, it used to be, oh, I need to wake up early, I need to exercise, I need to meditate. What else was it? I need to meditate, I need a journal, and then it was like two more other stuff that I needed to do in my routine, and it was like, no, it doesn't work that way because there's so much to do, and it will take like it was like a 2 hour routine. I feel like I'm screaming. I'm sorry if I'm screaming. But I think because of the air, I feel like I need to speak louder. And oh my gosh, the air from outside is probably way better than this freaking AC. Oh my god, it is so hot. But yeah, it will be like a 2 hour routine, and then it just wouldn't work out for me. Yo, I am drained in sweat. Like, you could probably see the drip coming out. Oh. Yeah, but it will be a 2 hour routine, and then and then I'm like, what have I done? And then I don't have energy to actually do what I needed to do, or it's already too late that I need to do. Then maybe I need to go to work, or I need to do something else, and it wasn't working for me. So then I decided to just keep it simple and short. So right now, what I'm doing is I wake up. While I'm still in bed, I do Vabriyar meditation. So it's just like ask your heart to smile, and then you smile, and then like you feel like your whole body is glowing, and then it's kind of like a way to feel good since the beginning. And you could do this at any time, but I do it in the morning. And then before I used to do it in morning and night, but back to my routine. So I do that, and then sometimes I do my push-ups, sometimes I don't. But most of the time I do my push-ups in the morning, and then after that, I just go to the bathroom. And then like that, I just start my day. And then depending on the day, or depending if I have work, like before, I used to work at night. Now I'm trying to work out in the morning. So it was workout. So it'll be like, let me start my routine again. So it's Vabriyat, go to the bathroom, come back, exercise, and then eat breakfast, and then start my work. And honestly, it still fluctuates because I'm still working on my work sleeping not sleeping my sleeping schedule and my waking up schedule, because there's times where I could wake up at 8, 9, 10, but then there's other times where I could wake up at 11, 12, 1 p.m. Like, yes, I know 1 p.m. is really bad, but I just feel so drained that I just can't get up. So like my phone temperature like is really hot, so now I'm using my actual phone. So I was saying, I need to work on my sleeping schedule, but then because it still fluctuates a lot on the time I wake up. So like for example, today, in the day I'm recording, it's July 5th. I woke up at 11:10. I did my Vabriyar meditation. I went to the bathroom. I came back, and then I did a dream journal because the dreams I had was interesting. So I did that, and that took about like 20 minutes. And then no, so it was Vabriyar, dream journal, bathroom, exercise, or get ready to exercise, do a protein shake, shower, and then eat. And all of that, it was already like 3 by the time I was done. Right now it's 4:24. We came to right now. I'm in a marqueta waiting for my mom and my cousin. So that in itself was from like 11 to 3ish. Let's say 3:30, because then we ate. So around 3 was when I was done showering. So imagine 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. It was a 4 hour routine, and I could have been. I did like I worked out for about an hour. I got distracted a lot, so it was probably like half an hour getting ready to exercise, and then that hour. So it was like 11 to, let's say, 12, 12 to 12:30 was me figuring out what to do or getting ready. 12:30 to 1:30, 12:30, 12:30 to 1:30 was exercising. 1:30 to 2 was shower. From 2 to 3:30ish was getting ready and then eating. And then from there, we came to a marqueta, and that's my day. And then after this, I have to go directly to work. I start at 5, so I'm gonna be a bit late. So all of these things add up, and then and then like these type of things, like I'm not doing enough. I'm taking a long time. Blah blah blah. All these things like add up to your self-esteem, because like, oh, I didn't do much, but then I did do stuff, So that that following routines can get really going getting back into individuality is like these type of things can get into your head of I'm not doing enough or I should be doing this, or you compare yourself to other people who are doing a bunch of things, and it's like, but it's because they've worked on probably like on little habits, like they're probably been in a journey for a very long time where like they have so much discipline that they're able to do this. I'm working on my discipline, I'm working on my procrastination, and because I haven't focused specifically into that, that's why there's so much inconsistency. So I think it's a very interesting thing. Again, this is not scripted, so I'm sorry if I went all over the place, or even if I didn't even touch upon the topic like properly, or certain things that I could have said within the individuality. But I think it's important. I think to wrap it up, I think it's important to notice when you're following a routine and doing it intentionally, if you do want to follow a routine, to see what works for you, but then after a certain point know that you're gonna see what works for you and what doesn't, and to be okay with the things that don't work out and the things that do work out, like keep implementing them. And then like that we're gonna start, because I'm still there, we're gonna start building our own routines and working on our own habits as well. So yeah, I think it's sad, like quite really like questioning, am I really doing this for me, or am I doing it because somebody told me to, or because someone told me like this is gonna help me out. And to not judge ourselves when things don't work out, because again, most of us are just starting or are in this journey where like we're one of the first ones in our family or our people who surround us. Like we're the first ones to like be trying to learn and how to be productive and how to not procrastinate and how to improve your lives and how to improve your finances and all of these stuff. And even just like learning about certain things like cold plunges, like what do I need to do, am I supposed to go directly into that, or am I supposed to go little by little? So even like for me, I started doing cold showers. I haven't done a cold plunge. I honestly don't think I'll be able to. Maybe like one time because like I met somebody, but besides that, I don't know if I'll be able to do like a daily cold plunge or stuff like that. Like even like that sounds very unrealistic. Um, oh my god, it is so hot. But yeah, let me know if I missed anything, or if you have any opinions, or if you disagree with something, if you agree with something, if you related to something. And yeah, I don't know if I completely touched or said all the things I wanted to say, but it just flows. So and also the heat, like oh my god, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, I don't know if you can see the amount of sweat that I have. I don't know how great of an idea it is, actually recording in the car, or this car specifically. Maybe I don't think the AC works properly, so I had to turn it off and then open the windows because it was not working out for me. But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching or listening and watching. And if you're no, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to follow. And in Spotify, you can answer the question of what did you think about this episode. And on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, because that really supports the podcast. And comment like either anything about this video, or what topics do you want me to talk about? What do you want to hear my opinion about? My unsolicited advice, if anything. So yeah, I'm really excited for all the future episodes that are coming out. And with that being said, thank you so much. Have an amazing, beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.